What's up, guys? It's Ryan here with East Coast Athletics, and welcome back. I know I haven't seen you guys for a while, really for a while. I would say, um, like 2 weeks to be exact. If you wanna put it at that, 2 weeks. Um, after the whole Olympic Games, I know I was busy in the latter part of the Olympics where they ran the 4x4 and all that stuff. I was able to watch it, but I was able to go live. Um, so didn't really get to talk about much. And I also took a vacation right after it. Vacation was already planned and scheduled, so didn't really get the chance to make any live streams or any videos before I leave for my vacation. So, that's kind of one of the reasons why you guys haven't seen me on here for a while. But I'm back, picking up where I left off pretty much. And we have a few things to talk about. Yes, I know the Olympics is over with. Still news at this point, you know. Regardless, there are still track events going on. We still got the under 20 championship day one going on right now, and we still have quite a few diamond leagues going on. So still stuff going on. It's not. I don't think the track and field season hasn't concluded yet. And with that being said, there has been quite a few meets. One, I think there was one in Lausanne, and then yeah. So 20th, the 20th of July, that was Great Britain. Yeah. So there's quite a few meets. So the upcoming one is Rome. Before that, you had Lausanne, and then you had another one in Poland, Cilicia, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, and then we have the one on the 30th in Rome, and then Zurich is the 5th of September, which Zurich is always one of the last meets of the Diamond League series, and then Brussels is a two day meet where they'll close everything out. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much the track and field meets that we have left. So it's Rome, Zurich, and Brussels. Those are the three that's left. Um, so I'm gonna be watching to see what transpire. And with that being said, I have a few things that I want to talk about, and I'm gonna kick it off with the 100 meter men. So I think in Lausanne, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, either in Lausanne or Cilicia, Fred Curley won the 100 meter, which is not a surprise to me, because he's always one of those athletes that show up, and deliver. So I'm not surprised for the mere fact that he won that race. Um, However, Kishane Thomas, based on my understanding, was scheduled for both of those meets, but he didn't show up. He didn't compete. He was at the meets, but he didn't compete. And it really got a lot of people talking, based on my understanding, and people are saying that he's hurt, which quite frankly could be true. However, it's hard to say exactly what's going on because we really don't know. We're just speculating at this point. We just gotta wait and see because he has a race coming up in Rome. He's scheduled to run in Rome, so we'll see if he actually compete in Rome. Um, and if he competes in Rome, will what time are we expecting? What time are we expecting him to run in Rome? Are we expecting a 9.7, a 9.8, or do you think that his coach, is cooking up something special for the next two um, Diamond League meets, which is quite possible. I think that they could be working on something special to kind of close the season out. So there's a great possibility that they are cooking up something. We don't know. So yeah, will we see a 9-6, a 9-7, or just something simple like a 9-8 to win that Diamond League if he competes? Um, Hopefully he does compete and he's able to deliver, a stunning performance. A 9-6 would, I think, would kind of make things very interesting going into the World Championship year, which is next year. Because pretty much most athletes always pick up close to where they left off the following season. So if you close your season out running 9-6s or 9-7s, chances are it's easier for you to get back to that level come the next season as long as your training and preparation are geared in a similar fashion, because each year as an athlete you'll get stronger and your endurance will improve, hence your speed is going to improve because once your speed endurance, you know and your physical strength is better, most athletes tend to run better. And then I'm assuming that his coach will definitely try to work on him staying injury free, keeping all those injuries away from him, allowing him to train a lot better. I think that should be one of the main things going into next season, trying to keep him injury free throughout the season, not just for the main championship, which would allow him to train better. And with him training better, he'll be in better shape and be able to deliver better performance come championship time. But yeah, um, I'm looking for a pretty good time in Rome if he does compete. But if he doesn't, then it is what it is. It's a part of the sport. Sometimes athletes gotta withdraw, and that's just the name of the game. Um, a lot of people are not happy with the fact that these athletes do that, but there's nothing we can do about it. And this leads me to my next point, which is most of these athletes they don't owe anybody any explanation. And um, the reason why I'm addressing this, I was listening to another YouTuber. Um, his channel is called Everything Track. He was stating that Kishane pulled out of two Diamond League meets, which was Lausanne and Silesia. That's the one in Poland. And you don't see the American athletes pulling out. That's I should actually link it. Um, should actually link it, but I don't feel like doing that right now. But he was saying that American athletes don't pull out of the races unless it's something very crucial. But he's pretty much targeting the Jamaicans, saying that they've been doing that, pulling out of the races. He spoke about Sharika Jackson, spoke about Kishane Thompson, um, Shelly and Fraser Price, which, in my opinion, Shelly and Fraser Price and Sharika Jackson are athletes that once they're okay, then they're always showing up and running their races, and it doesn't matter whether they win or they finish second or third. They always show up and try to run, put on a show for everyone else. So for him saying that, and pretty much, and he specifically stated that the American athletes don't do that, kind of gives me the impression like he's kind of targeting the Jamaicans, trying to point something out. What exactly, I have no idea, because athletes on a whole do things that are more beneficial to them. And with that being said, I don't think the Jamaican athletes owe anybody any explanation as to why. And because that's one of the things that he spoke about. He said that the athletes, they should come out and say something about why they didn't run, and should explain to the fans why they're pulling out of the races. But to be quite frank, I don't think these athletes owes anyone any explanation. They are grown people. Um, they are allowed to do whatever they want to do, and if that means, if even if they're not hurt and they decide that they don't want to run, as long as it's not inconveniencing anyone, I don't think they should be forced to do so if they think they're not ready, which I think, you know, shouldn't be a big deal, because I can remember going into the Olympics, Noel Lyles had pulled out of a Diamond League, um, in which he later stated, he didn't state it at that specific time why he pulled out of the meet. He stated that afterwards that he pulled out of the meet because he wanted to work on um, getting his start better for the 100. And nobody said anything, in that moment that he pulled out, and nobody still haven't said anything about it to this day. But I think it's just a thing where I guess they're trying to prove a point, trying to make it, start up some rivalry, or I don't know what they're trying to do, but it doesn't make sense to me. So, I just felt like I would address it a little bit. But yeah, I don't think they owe anybody explanation. They're free to do whatever they want to do. All right. So let's move to the next topic. All right. So Clayton has been running the 400 hurdles for a while, and a few people has stated to me that they think that she's going out too hard in the 400-meter hurdles, and then she don't have enough gas to come home. And when it comes to a race like that, it's it's iffy, because not all athletes could run the same way. And the reason why I said that, you have athletes that they could distribute their energy evenly throughout the race, while other athletes can't. They haven't been taught that, or they haven't learned that yet. So, it takes time for athletes to understand and learn how to distribute their energy throughout the race. And then there's another thing where if you try to get out too slow, then you're still not gonna finish as strong as you would expect. So it's kind of you got to get that right balance where you get out hard enough and you're still able to come home. Because if you get out too slow, I can guarantee that you're not gonna finish as strong as you expect. Because once you, it's like either whether you get out fast or you get out slow, if you don't work on your finish, you're it's gonna be the same, right? And if you don't use up that energy within the first, I'm gonna say 30 to 40 meters, or because a lot of people think you could run at max speed for the first 200, in which you really can't. You could run maybe at max speed for the first 60 meter, 70 meter, right? However, in a race that you're going over barriers, it's very crucial to distribute your energy, pace yourself. But at the same time, that first 200 meters, if you understand the energy system, aerobic and anaerobic, there's a window in which your body is operating in an anaerobic mood, or anaerobic, anaerobic. I mean, you guys know what I'm talking about. So that means the athlete is running off energy and oxygen that is stored. After those seconds, I think, what, 40 seconds or somewhere there, after that 40 second, you know, all that energy is somewhat depleted, and then you go to aerobics. So now it's oxygen that you're intaking that you're actually using to assist with you finishing the race. So I think that a lot of people don't understand track and field on a whole. I think they watch the race, they're a fan of the sport, but they don't understand how the race is actually, you know, ran. I used to run the 400, and I used to pretty much run the first 200 meter very slow, and then I try to run a fast last 200 meter. Sometimes it works, but sometimes it don't. And not all the time, not every time my time would be fast. But then when I came here to college, my coach kept stressing I need to get out fast. And at first, I didn't buy into the whole notion of getting out fast, because I felt like if I get out too fast, I'm going to die. I'm not going to finish the race. However, after trying it a few times, I realized that if you train your body to get out fast enough, get out fast, you'll still have that finish. So I think that at this point in the season where Clayton are already past the Olympics, I think they're just working on something going forward, like moving into the next season. I think they're just working on her first 200, trying to get it to perfection, and then they're gonna go back to the drawing board and work on her finish for next season. Because if her body gets used to getting out that fast, it's gonna become so easy for her to do that. It's gonna be second nature. Every single race that she runs, it's gonna be the same. And if she keep running like that, eventually her finish is gonna be there. Like she's gonna be finishing strong regardless of how fast she get out, because her body is getting used to that with every race. So her body will know how to react when the time comes for her to run that last 150. So I think I don't think she should change her strategy. Me personally speaking, I don't think she should change it. I think she should keep it, because as time progresses, she's gonna get faster and stronger. So getting faster and stronger, she'll still be able to cover the first 200 just as fast, right? But it's gonna be with less effort, and then she'll be able to come home even faster than she normally would. So I think she should keep it. I don't think it's a bad strategy, to have a lot of athletes do that. I can't remember his name. He runs the 400. He's from Great Britain. I don't know why the name not clicking in my head right now, but he runs a 400 quite similar. Like he just gets out really crazy for that first 200, and he just hold on. And he's running 43s. He was the silver medalist at the Olympics. So, every athlete have a different strategy. You just got to know what works for you as an athlete. And I think if this strategy is working for Clayton, I think she should keep it. Others would argue that it's not working right now, or it's not getting her on the podium. But you know, who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen at the World Championship? She got time to work on her strength, work on her speed, get a lot of things to perfection by then. So, I don't think she should change. I think she should keep it. All right. So let me move to the next topic. And the next topic is pretty much the 100-meter for female. So at in Poland, Tia ran a PR, right? She ran 1083. I think she previously ran 1070s, 1087 and 1089. I think this is not surprising to me. Based on it's not a surprise to me, because the coach stated that she did not execute her race at the trials, and she wasn't able to execute a good race at the Olympics either. So, with that being said, that tells you that there's more in the tank. And then with the fact that she's not running multiple rounds, she's not running the first round, semifinal, and final. She's pretty much gonna run a bit. She's gonna run a better race. She got fresh legs. She's gonna be able to, you know, perform better. So that didn't come as a surprise to me. I think that she's able to go under that. I think she can go 10-7 for sure. It's just a matter of getting the right conditions and everything. I watched the race, but I didn't pay attention to the wind reading. That also can factor in when it comes to these races. So that's something to take into consideration. Um, I'm gonna look at the wind reading right now. Hmm. Well, wow. So this is this is funny. So based on what I'm seeing, the race is not legal. So even though she ran that time, it's not a legal time, because I'm looking at the race now, and it's saying the win reading is 2.9. I'm not. Hold on. Yeah. So the win reading is 2.9. So technically, it's not a. It's a PR, but it's not a PR, because in the legal sense, it's not a PR. But if you're thinking about it as the fastest time that she's ran ever, it is a PR. But technically, technically, it wouldn't count. It really wouldn't count because of the win reading, which I wasn't aware of. Yeah, it's 2.9. That's literally a tornado behind you. So yeah, but I mean, it's this these races are good for her because at least she is consistent in, you know, how she's running and executing, and she's competing with all the other females are pretty much, I'm gonna say, at least four of the females that were in. Let me see. So you have Davis, you have Toulouse. Those two, I think, were in the 100-meter finals at the Olympics. I can't recall if Nita was in it. Um, but yeah, she has at least two people that was in that finals in the 100-meter finals at the Olympics. So she has competition. She's still running pretty good. So that's a really good look for her going forward, and I think it will definitely help her in the upcoming season, because running at the Olympics is one thing, but then having the races from the Diamond League meets under her belt is another thing, because that will help to build her confidence, and that nervousness that she faced when she ran at the Olympics. I think this will help with the nervousness, because now she's more familiar, more used to the competition, and running with these ladies on this high level, multiple times. So it won't be like something new to her anymore, because she's doing it now. She has ran in the Diamond League meets. I think this is what, the second one. So she have, I think that she's running in Rome. Um, I could be wrong, but for the most part, for the mere fact that she ran these two meets, I'm assuming that she's gonna be running in Rome as well. So that's another opportunity for her to lower her time. Each time these athletes run, they have that opportunity to lower their time. So that's another opportunity for her. And with that being said, I think the previous Diamond League meet, which is Lausanne, I think Dana Asher Smith won that race. Not sure of the wind, but I think she ran 10:8 as well. And with that being said, I'm thinking, do you guys think like all these athletes try to peak for the Olympic Games? I would hope they do, but it's like, based on some of the performances, you know, you would think that not all of them do, because there's there's a few athletes that have ran better after the Olympic Games. I don't know if it's because it's just one race compared to running rounds, and that could be a part of it, where running multiple events and running rounds, it kind of drain your energy. Your legs don't feel as as they normally would, if you're just running one race. So that could play a part. Or it could be that some of the athletes are coming off of some form of injury or something, so they're just getting back into shape and getting into that race shape. Like they're just getting race ready. Like they weren't really race ready at the Olympics. They were healthy, but they weren't race ready or race sharp. And as the Olympic came to a close, and then the Diamond League meets start, then they start sharpening up race after race. So that also could be a possibility where a few of the athletes, because I don't think it's all of them. I would say a few of them um, did not really get to peak at the Olympics, and as such, they start peaking a little bit later. Because I don't think any of the coaches would try to peak their athletes for after the Olympics. I would think they would aim for the Olympics because that's the big stage. However, there are athletes that are more intrigued by the payout. So great possibility. But I have one more thing that I want to talk about. So should the athletes in the Olympic final get paid from the Olympic Association? Do you guys think they should get paid from the Olympic Association? Because from my understanding, the money that they get is just unless, all right, let me break it down. So winners of their event at the Olympics get 50,000, right? And that's for winning your event. So any athlete that wins their event, they get, well, yeah, they get $50,000, right? If you break the world record, that's 100,000. And how I came to that conclusion was they specifically stated, because I read it in an article, that the winner of the event gets 50,000, right? And then for relays, any 4x1 or 4x4, that is split among the team, right? So that being said, they specifically stated that Gabby Thomas made 70,000 at the Olympics. So if she made 70,000 at the Olympics, she ran on the 4x1 and she ran on the 4x4, right? And she won her 200 meter. So that's 50,000 for the 200 meter. And then she ran on two relays. So if that money was split, because the 50,000 was awarded to the 4x4 and the 4x1, 50,000 each, and then they split that. So she ended up with 10,000 from each. So with that being said, if you're just a part of a 4x1 or 4x4 team or a mixed relay, you're just making $10,000, right? However, for Sydney McLaughlin, she won her race, or 400 meter hurdles. That's 50,000, and she ran the 4x4, which they win gold, and that's 10,000. So the next 100,000, because she made 160,000, she got the biggest payout of the championship because she broke the world record and she won gold and in two events, the 4x1 and her flat 400 meter hurdles. So she made 160,000. So any record race, that's 100,000 right off the bat. And then with the fact that you won, that's additional 50,000. So if you have one athlete that won two race, that's 100,000 right there. And I'm not talking about relay. I'm talking about just flat race. If you win two race, that's 50,000 a piece. So that's 100,000. So if you were supposed to say you were Usain Bolt, you broke the 100 meter and the 200 meter record, right? And I think one year they broke all three: 100, 200, and the 4x1. So that's 100,000 for each, plus 50,000 for each. So that's 300,000. And then they won the four by one. So that's another 10,000. And then the record, that's 100,000. So that's 335,000. Damn. Yeah, that, well, not sure if that was the same payout back then when Bolt was running, but if it was, then that would be what he would walk away with just from the Olympics. But I think that they really should, the association should not only pay the winners of the event. I think they should have a payout for everybody that's in the finals, because if you're in the finals, you're in you're in the top 8 in the world. And I would even say that it's I would even use time to rank it. I would just use the Olympic finals, because that's the biggest um, sporting event in the world. So, and that only comes around every 4 years. So, the way I look at it, I think for athletes who make it to the finals at any Olympic Games, they definitely should be awarded more money. I don't think it should be just for the winners. I mean, I understand that you wanna give something to the winners, but for the mere fact that all these athletes show up to the Olympics and put on a show for everyone who's watching, I mean, I just personally think that it's fair for the association to give something back to at least the top 8 athletes in each event, because without the athletes, then there wouldn't be an Olympic Games, would there? So why not at least you know award them something for their effort, time, and energy that they put in to at least make it to that level, to put on the show that they put on for the millions of audience that are watching the sport. I don't know. That's just my take on it. I think they should definitely, you know, be awarded something, at least for um, the top 8 people, the finalists, top 8. Give something to them. It might not be a big lump sum, but at least they could say they walk away with something. And I know a lot of times, based on my understanding or based on what I've heard, um, the the country that these athletes are from, those association will, give, I don't know if it's money or what, but some of the countries will award the athletes things. But I'm talking specifically from the Olympic Association. I think with the amount of money that they make, and that's my opinion, with the amount of money that they make, they have the ability to give something to the athletes. But that's that's just my view. That's what I think. Um, Yeah, and I'm gonna pretty much close things out there. Getting late. Um, but I will be watching the Diamond League meet in Rome. I don't think I'm gonna be able to go live during the meet, but I'll definitely um, do a live stream afterwards. Maybe a short live stream, talking about the performances at the meet. But hopefully, Kishane is able to compete and give us a good show, run up a pretty good time. I'm hoping for 9.6, really hoping for 9.6. So let's see what happens. You know, just got to be positive about everything, and let's hope that he's not injured. You know, so well, that is it, guys. I'm gonna wrap it up here. Thanks for joining me. Um, as always, I appreciate you guys. Give the video, give the live stream a thumbs up if you like it. I think whoever is here is already subscribed. So, but if you haven't, for anybody that will be watching it afterwards, give a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. And until next time, it's your boy Ryan here with East Coast Athletics. I'm gonna be signing out. Peace.